Well, thanks, Mike. Well, tonight's big story are the results of the state primary election that closed yesterday. To start us off, here's John Franklin.
John, over 22,000 votes have been counted in Yakima County, with a voter turnout of 17.23%. There are a few local measures in Yakima County. Let's run over them quickly. 59.82% of counted votes approved the Sela Park and Recreation 6-year property tax levy. That one needs 60% to pass. Fire District 1 has just under 68% approval so far for their proposition. District 4's proposition has just over 62% of voters approving, and District 12 has just under 65% of voters approving on their proposition. Kittitas County has counted just over 7,800 ballots so far, with a 26.28% voting turnout rate. Their hospital levy lid lift has 64% of counted voters approving. Remember, those results and the races that JKO is about to go over are unofficial results. They are from official sources, but they are still counting votes, and certification day is in 2 weeks. John?
Thanks so much, John. Yes, certification is a while away yet, but let's go over the races that we have so far. In Kittitas County, the main race was the District 8 contest for the U.S. House of Representatives. There, incumbent Congresswoman Democrat Kim Schreier was facing challenges from 2 Democrats and 1 Republican. The results of that race so far: Congresswoman Kim Schreier has 51.2% of the votes that have been counted, with Republican Carmen Goers on 44%. The other Democrat candidates have around 4% of the vote combined. In just Kittitas County, Goers leads Schreier by 54 to 44%. Moving into Yakima County and the race for U.S. Congressional District 4, which may have been the most fiercely contested of all the primary races. As of now, Sessler is still in the lead with over 31% of votes. Newhouse is following behind with just under 25% of the vote, and Tiffany Smiley holds 3rd place with over 19% of the votes counted. We heard today from the current top 2 candidates, Jared Sessler and Dan Newhouse.
Very thankful for the voters to put their faith in me. I think that what they're saying is they really want someone who's going to represent them, that's going to fight for them and fight for our traditional American values and our Constitution here in Washington's 4th District.
I'm feeling optimistic and good about this because I know that the people I represent, my constituency, supports good government, good governance, and that's what I've provided for them, and I'll continue to do that.
Moving on now to the state senator race in District 14. As of now, Curtis King is still leading the race with over 58% of votes cast in his favour. Maria Beltran has just under 41% of votes cast for her so far. Now onto the race for District 14, Position 1. As of this broadcast, Democrat Chelsea Demas still in the lead with over 36% of votes cast, and the 2 Republicans, Gloria Mendoza is following behind with over 32% of votes, and Andy Killinan is in 3rd with almost 31% of votes. So that's still a very tight race, and any of the 2-3 could proceed to the November election. Continuing with District 14, we look at the race for Position 2 seat. Republican Deb Mangeres is still leading the race with just over 54% of the votes. Democrat Anna Ruiz Kennedy is following behind with over 38% of the vote, and while Independent Eddie Perez is almost certain to be eliminated with just under 7% of the votes counted. Moving now to District 15 and the race for Position 1. As of now, Republican Chris Corey is leading with 74% of votes. Independent Chase Foster is following with over 23% of the vote. That's a very stark difference between the votes, but both move on to November's election. And continuing with District 15, we move on now to the race for Position 2. At the time of this newscast, Jeremy Dufault is still in the lead with over 74% of votes, as Rich Bright comes in with over 22% of that vote. Another big gap between the numbers, but again, both Republicans will contest the November election. Moving on now to the race for our county commissioners, where we start with the race for District 2. Incumbent Kyle Curtis leads that race with just under 60% of the votes cast, ahead of Susan Soto Palmer, who has polled 40%. In that 2-horse race, both candidates proceed to November's election. And in the County Commissioner District 3 race, incumbent LaDon Lindy has just under 67% of the votes cast, with Elpicia Saavedra polling just over 29%. Again, both candidates were always guaranteed a place in November's election. Turning to the two main races across the state, the top two candidates for Washington governor who will face off in November will likely be State Attorney General Democrat Bob Ferguson, who has polled around 45% of the votes counted, with Republican Dave Reichert in second place with almost 28% of the vote. Tri-Cities resident Semi Bird is third with 9.5%. In Yakima County voting, Reichert leads, with Bird a close third behind Ferguson in second. We spoke to the top two candidates who will face off in November earlier today.
Sensed that we had some momentum going. I sensed our TV ads were communicating well. You're out there, you're talking to people, you get a sense. And I did feel that we were making progress in those last 6 to 8 weeks leading up to the primary. I felt we had the momentum. Just being candid, I did not have on my bingo card the result that we saw last night.
We thought we'd be behind him, but the numbers again are not in. Again, I don't know what they are, but a lot of votes yet still to count. I know we hear that every election cycle, but that's just that's the way it is. So we look forward. We've got two candidates. It starts afresh tomorrow morning.
And finally, in the race for the U.S. Senate, incumbent Democrat Senator Maria Cantwell holds a strong lead with almost 58% of the votes counted, with Republican Dr. Raul Garcia polling just over 21% of the votes counted so far. No other candidate has reached 6%, so it would seem pretty certain they will face each other in November. And we have all the races for state offices and all the local races in both Kittitas and Yakima counties on our website, kimatv.com.